Hello, my name is Doris and I am Little Bird Products. Welcome back if you've been here before, and if you're new here, thank you for joining us, and please do subscribe. It does help the channel and you get notified every time I post a new video. What I wanted to do in this week's recap is kind of talk a little bit about what my goals had been for the week and what I did accomplish, and I'll put some of my little dancing videos at the end for what I did make and get in the store this week. And I'll also talk about my goals for next week and something I did this week. I did a naughty thing. And I'll put a few pictures of my naughty thing that I did, because that is going to be one of my goals to work on for next week. So what I did get finished this week is I got this beautiful jacket finished, and I've been working on it for a couple of weeks, but it really demanded a little more focus because it was a very much embellished denim jacket, and it turned out absolutely beautiful. And I figured out what I wanted to do with the sleeves. Normally, when I make something that's cape-like, I will either sew it together under the arm a little bit like a kimono sleeve so that you have a defined sleeve to put your arms in. Because for me, I think capes tend to slide back and forth, so I want something you can put your arms through and then still keep it open on the side so it's floating like a cape. So what I did with this one, because of the way that it's made and shaped, I didn't like the way it looked when I had closed off the end of the sleeve, like where the cuff was. So what I did to make it a little more size forgiving and a little more adjustable is I had some tie pieces left from a wrapped sari skirt, and I think they're silk, but they might be polyester. But anyway, they feel really nice and it's beautiful. The colors matched. So I made ties under the arm here, like where the sleeve would be. So you can put it in a bow, you can tighten it, you can leave it, just dangle, you can make a bow out of it, so you can have it really cape-like. So it's much more adjustable, and I think it looks really nice. It adds another element of style to the jacket. So I finished that off, and then I did another denim and canthus shirt, and I liked the way this one turned out because I decided I wanted to embellish them a little more, not over the top, but maybe some of them will be over the top. But this one, I added a piece of white cotton vintage lace, cutwork lace on the front, just to give it a little more pizzazz and, just a little more one-of-a-kindness to it. So I finished that one. Sometimes, like I said, I go a little further with things where I could just slam them out a lot faster if I didn't take the time to put trim on them and think through what I'm going to do. So anyway, those are a more economical piece because I sell them for $49 to $59 depending on how much work and embellishing I have to do when I'm in my store. And they seem to sell really well. So I didn't get as many. I didn't get the 10 done I wanted to get finished, but I did get this one finished, and I have several more laying in wait, and I'm going to put those aside for a minute because my little thing that I did this week is going to keep me busy next week. And I did also finish my angel wing graphic tee, and I'll show you a picture of that in the end. It turned out beautiful. In fact, I'm so tempted to keep it for myself, but I don't need to be filling my closet up with more things. I keep telling myself that. So I did get those 3 pieces completely finished and got photographs taken. And if I happen to get a couple more pieces finished, which I doubt that I'll do, but if I have to get a couple more, if I get them finished, I'll put the pictures in the end here. The other thing that I did, let's see, I'll tell you about my little naughty thing that I did. And what I didn't do. I'll tell you what I didn't do first. I have my pieces out for my Scrapbuster project because that's another thing I try to do every week. And this week was going to be a kimono shrug, a reversible one with some vintage chenille pieces. And I do have all that cut out and laid out. And if I do get it made, I'll put pictures in here. But what I wanted to do was perhaps devote my midweek video next week to giving you a tutorial for how I make those. Someone asked in the comments, and forgive me, I'm terrible with people's names. So I can't remember the name of the person asked. They said they'd like to know more about how I make my kimono jackets. And I have 2 different patterns that I use for that. And what I want to do is when I make this one, I'll record it. And that's my preferred jacket, but I've had that pattern for a long time. And I'll show you the pattern. I modify it a little bit, and I'll talk about those modifications. Then I have another pattern that I use occasionally, and I'm going to make another one out of that. And when I make that second pattern, I'll record that. And so you'll really have 2 ways to make a kimono jacket. And I'll make the first one that I'm working on reversible because I'm going to line it. And then the other one will just be a simple one that you can use for anything. And it is a pattern, but it's an easy pattern. So I'm going to plan on doing that and have that for you midweek with my midweek catch up. The other thing that I have going on is Saturday this week. That's when I get a lot of things done and get my videos normally made. I have a gentleman, I don't know if I've spoken about him before, I call him Mr. Tomato. He is bringing seedling tomato plants, and he's going to teach me how to properly plant those in my garden. He's giving me the seedlings for free because I think I did talk about this. I taught his daughter how to sew some simple things, and this is one of those paybacks, which I love. I love doing things for people, and, then some of them are so nice they want to do something else, to give back. And this gentleman is an avid gardener, and he has these 4th generation, 8th generation something tomato seeds, heirloom tomatoes, and he promised me that if I did exactly what he told me to do, I would have the best tomato crop I've ever had. Well, I wouldn't have to go far to make the best one I've ever had here in Texas. I just have the stinkingest bad luck with growing tomatoes here. The growing season is kind of short and it's odd, and so you have to have everything in late February, early March, or you just don't get a crop. So anyway, I'm doing that, and then next weekend I'm going to go to the garden center that I go here. It's beautiful. I love going there, and I always spend much more than I plan on spending because I want to get some flowers and plant those. I have hanging baskets around my raised garden beds because I like to attract pollinators. That's the other thing that I'm not good about growing. I haven't been able to grow a stinking squash here in years, and I believe it's because I don't have pollinators that come around to pollinate the squash. I get lots of blossoms and get no fruit. So I'm going to settle for my tomatoes because I love tomatoes, and let my son-in-law try to grow the squash for me. So anyway, I have that going on. This is kind of a busy time for me, but I am excited about videoing my kimono make for you so you can see what I do there. Now I'll talk about the naughty thing I did, so you can skip right ahead to the end if you don't want to hear about my naughtiness. As I said before, I have lots of things, and I'm trying to de-stash a lot of my things, get them made and not buy more. Well, I did a bad thing. I went thrifting with my sewing protege, my friend. And, I do enjoy thrifting, and we enjoy thrifting together, and it's so fun. And I went to our favorite thrift store. It's kind of like a Goodwill Bins, but it's not Goodwill. It's a family thrift. It's here in Texas, but it's their bins equivalent. And it's only clothes. They don't sell linens or any of that kind of stuff. And they have certain days of the week with different pricing. One day everything's $1. The next day everything's 50 cents. And the day that we went, everything was a quarter. We didn't get there very early, so they were really busy. But I did a lot of damage. I got a lot of pieces. I'm not going to tell you how much I spent. I'm going to let you guess. And I'm going to show you a picture here, and maybe a couple pictures in the end, and I might do a short on it, for the 2 huge bags that I bought. Let me just say I had a budget in mind, and I did not spend my entire budget. I bought quite a few pieces, and I have something in mind that I want to do to focus on for next week. And in my little mind, I have an inspiration. And here's my inspiration piece. And it's something I think I'm going to call Little Bird Sweet Shirts. I'm not going to call them sweatshirts. I'm going to call them sweet shirts. And I'm going to try to find a way to make them special and unique and one of a kind and really cute to wear. So it'd be so sweet. I'm not going to say cute. I'm going to say sweet. They'll be little bird sweet shirts. And I'm thinking about either putting a bird applique or a little logo embroidery for little bird products on them. And then something special for each one. So I'll show you what my haul looks like. I'm going to have it all laid out. And I'll show you how many pieces there are and what's there. And then I'll let you guess how much I spent. And then for next week, next Sunday, I will show you what I got accomplished and what I made. Anyway, enjoy. Please remember to subscribe and watch. Thank you.
Hey, here
Bye.
It is my thrift haul. A J. Jill dress, a size, I think this is 5X. Yeah, 5X Liz and Me jacket, perfect condition. 2 hoodies and a nice American Eagle sweatshirt. An embroidered, that's actually a sweatshirt, and navy blue sweatshirt behind it. There's 2 really pretty print shirts, 2 Sonoma shirts, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 perfect condition sweatshirts, 3 nice women's t-shirts, nice zip shirt, 2 of these waffle shirts, and this nice embroidered t-shirt, 2 purple print blouses, shirts for me, and another waffle shirt. And that's like 28 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 4, 5, 6, 7, 28. 28 thrifted pieces. Okay, you guess how much these perfect pieces cost me. And then watch for what I do with them when I put them in my store, when I upsize and upcycle them. Yay! Winter Thrift Day.